Welcome back to News Geelong on this cool Wednesday evening. The great Australian dream of owning our own home continues to be a strong challenge in today's ever-moving economic climate. Ian Nicholls reports.
It's another weekend here on the Surf Coast, and home buyers again will be flocking to the area from Torquay right through Anglesea to Lorne, looking for property. I'm standing in the main retail sector of Torquay, and it's no surprise there's half a dozen real estate agents in this strip, and they're all reporting excellent business in 2010. House prices are on the rise as cashed-up buyers come from Melbourne and from all over the country, including investors from overseas. This is a boom area, the Surf Coast, the fastest-growing region outside of Melbourne. This weekend we expect more people to flock after the Easter break, and we're speaking with local real estate guru Glenn Hardman.
We've been flat out lately. It's the last 2 weeks school holidays been very busy. A lot of people down for the rip curl surfing as well, and in general weekends, the Friday afternoon, a lot of people turning up, spending a lot of time looking at property over the weekend, so yes.
We've heard so much about the sea change that it becomes almost trivial, but we understand that this year a lot more people cashed up, mainly from Melbourne. Would you say they're coming from?
Yeah, that's exactly right. We're getting a lot of people from Melbourne turning up, wanting to be down here. A lot of people are moving down here for the sea change, as you're saying, and a lot of people are still working in Melbourne, so they're commuting to Melbourne on a regular basis, but working maybe 4 days a week in Melbourne and taking advantage of the lifestyle down here.
This ring road, of course, that bypasses Geelong must have a big bearing on the numbers now, considering a move to the coast.
Very much so. The ring road makes it a lot easier to get round Geelong. Probably takes a fair bit of time off the trip, and leaving Torquay to get to Melbourne, you're in town in about an hour's time, so it's pretty quick.
And we're right in saying that prices will be on the increase as buyer demand becomes greater?
The buyer demand is greater, the consumer confidence is up, and as a result, prices are pushing upwards too.
On the Surf Coast, this is Ian Nicholls for News Geelong.
Thank you very much, Ian. In March this year, we saw the Geelong Highland Gathering being forced to relocate its original stage at Queen's Park out to the Fynesford Common. Was it a successful move or not? Colin Mockett reports for News Geelong.
This year, the Geelong Highland Gathering moved for the first time to Fynesford Common. It's traditionally, for the last 50-odd years, been held on Queen's Park, and the move was not without controversy. Now, I have with me the chairman of the Geelong Highland Gathering, that's Ian Morrison. Ian, was the move successful?
In a word, yes. No move comes without problems, Colin, and we certainly had reservations before we went there. We still have reservations, but I guess the bottom line is we had a successful gathering.
Did you have more people or fewer people through the turnstile?
Now, you've got to look at that in two ways. We figured there's about 2,500 cars came through the course of the day into the car parks and out. The gate figure was down slightly on last year. But the profile changed slightly too. We're endeavouring to attract a younger audience, and I think that's starting to kick in. But all in all, we think probably somewhere between 6,500 and 7,500 people came through the gate.
And that compares with last year?
No, down slightly on last year.
Yeah.
But
now the bands,
venue, different profile.
Yeah, you had a 25 or so.
About 20 pipe bands. Yeah.
Pipe bands, and part of their campaign is that they were marching. Now, this was not a nice clean oval as it was in Queen's Park. This was quite a rough piece of common. Was there any problems there?
Well, we averted problems, Colin. One of the main attractions of any Highland gathering are the mass bands. People will come early in the day, they'll come late in the day, but they desperately want to see the massed Highland bands at the end of the day. We're in a situation with the undulating parklands, as aesthetically appreciative as they were. We had to ask the pipe bands themselves whether they were prepared to march to any length on that particular piece of land, and we couldn't allow that.
Colin Mockett, News Geelong, Channel 30.
Thank you, Colin. Watch this space as we look ahead to 2011. In 1976, the in-activity toy was the Frisbee. It was introduced into Australia at that time. Now it is a worldwide phenomenon, and the Australian Flying Disc Association, that's right, the AFDA, is heading off to Europe later this year for the Ultimate World Championships, as Meryl Friend reports.
When you think of Frisbee, you often think of throwing that plastic disc around the beach in summer, but if you think of ultimate Frisbee, it's a whole different ball game, and there are 45 competitors here vying for a position on the world team going to Germany in July.
Frisbee is a sport played by 7 players on a team. The object of the game is to get the disc from one end of the field to the end zone and the other end of the field. They do that by passing up the field. If the disc is dropped or intercepted by the other team, it becomes the opposing team's disc, and then they move it back down the other end of the field.
Okay, so this is a worldwide sport that many people wouldn't know about, and you've got people here from all over Australia. Whereabouts is the main centre for Frisbee?
At the moment, Junior Ultimate, Geelong is the main focus of the sport. We've got the most juniors in the country, so it's nice to have that in Geelong.
We're joined with Matt Hill, who is the assistant coach of the boys team. What are they called?
Aussie Thunder.
Okay, now you've played yourself a lot. You've been in the world team. Whereabouts did you go?
That's right, 2006 I played in Boston at the Under-19 World Championships, and then 2 years ago in 2008 we were in Vancouver, so I was coaching the same team, Under-19s, in 2008.
How many countries are involved?
There's probably 40 to 60 countries that play internationally at the World Championships. There's probably about 20 that were there in 2008, yeah.
And what sort of time frame has the game been played?
Time frame, it started in about the 60s, so the sport's been around for 40 or 50 years, so it's growing pretty quick for only being around for 40 or 50 years, but we're getting there.
All right, now Tyler Dixon, you're one of Geelong's residents who is going off to Germany in the world titles.
Yeah, sure am. It's going to be really cool. I'm really excited.
And how long have you been playing Frisbee?
Nearly 2 years now, I guess.
Okay, and you're at Belmont High?
Yeah, in year 12 at Belmont High.
Oh, so big year for you.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty hard with VCE and exams and stuff, but I'll just have to work hard. It'll be cool.
Now, Ainsley Smith, you're a Sacred Heart student doing year 12. How are you going to fit in going to Germany as well?
Oh, it's going to be hard, but just working over there, just trying to do some homework while I'm over there, hopefully.
How long have you been playing Ultimate Frisbee?
Playing 2 years, so it's been all right.
From Deakin Warren Ponds, Meryl Friend, News Geelong.
Thank you, Meryl, and all the very best to the Australian Youth Frisbee team in their trip to Europe later this year. We'll keep you up to date with the results. This is News Geelong as we go to a break and return with sport and weather after this.